Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to part 6 of Disco Elysium. I am your host, Iron Dragon. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to support what I do, don't forget to like and subscribe. We learned quite a bit in the last stream. We learned that apparently the Hardy Boys had nothing to do with the murder. We learned that Miss Claudia isn't who she seems to be, that she's actually on the run, and that they staged it to look like a hanging to protect her. But in reality, the guy was shot. Hello, Mary. Glad you could stop in. So, let's get back to it, because we still have part of day 3 to go through, and there's still things we could do. For instance, going and asking the guy at the harbor about the rest of the armor. Oh, actually, it's the morning of day 4. I forgot about that. Well, anyway, we still have to do it, so...
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Kuno told me you were supposed to know about the armor.
The little boy had a good on his promise.
His promise?
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
Sounds delicious, Mary.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
The probe into the armor, what did you learn?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
And I found the cuirass.
I guess you won't be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least.
Hold up, 4 pieces? Helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots. What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
Actually, I may have better things to do, too.
I agree, officer. Let's focus on the hanging, and later some junior officers can take care of the rest.
Nice. From what I learned, it was a very heavy, boring set of armor.
So Kuno used this to... Let's see. Thank you for the cooperation, sir.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
Good talking to you. Gotta run. Okay, back to the journal. Oh, Kuno lied to me. Now I gotta go back and talk to Kuno. Of course, I had to talk to him again anyway. Let's see if I'm... And I need to go up and talk to Everard. But yeah, I had to ask him about that empty trap too.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about any missing locusts?
No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
Now hold on, no one is lame here. Just tell me what happened.
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check it out.
I talked to Manana about the armor.
So?
He said to thank you. Wasn't too keen on chasing down that armor anyway. Oh, come on. Hold on. Oh, I see why. Oh, come on. Capture it. Don't make me do this. Fine. Capture specific window. Capture that. There. Damn stupid OBS being a pain. Something that worked last week doesn't work now. Okay, where was I? He said to thank you. Wasn't too keen on chasing down that armor anyway. Do I want to say that?
Yeah, so? Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like Jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
Now, to be fair, that's something I should have noticed earlier because I can see on the left screen what OBS is seeing. And, of course, the game is in front of me. So I should have noticed that the screen that OBS was still showing a blank screen. So thank you for interrupting me.
Good idea.
Yes, let's
Yeah,
move on.
That's what Kuno said. Don't be saying what Kuno said back to Kuno after this shit. You better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
And to be honest, I don't care that he doesn't care. If he was a real kid, I don't care what the cops say. I'd punch him again. It's crawling with locusts in here. What a
All around
coincidence.
you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case.
The lieutenant looks around, writes something in his notebook, and turns to you.
Of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Yes, precisely what I was thinking.
Yes. I feel we are nearing a real breakthrough.
We should talk to Kuno about this, get him to stop.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
Seriously, I would have told him to stop being so sarcastic, but meh.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I know you took the locusts from the traps the cryptozoologist set up.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
You say you don't give a fuck about bugs, then you go and build a whole bug town.
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Stop!
She wails from behind the fence, then buries her face in her hands.
You stop. It's like they're fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. The lameness is causing her physical pain. The damage may be permanent.
City of Rage sounds like a cool place.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're...
An artist? Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
That's great, Kuno. It's cool to make art.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
He tears at the buttons of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give way.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Amazing. Something that the game actually censors.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
A leaden silence fills the yard.
So that's what this is about.
That depends on the choices you make.
Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation.
I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important. Those locusts are bait.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
What's going to happen to the locusts?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
Okay, now that that's settled, I'd better be
The
off.
fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
The Insulindian phasmid.
He recognizes the name.
Wait, you know what the Insulindian phasmid
They
is?
just think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
Well, let's see. Okay, yep. Report back to the cryptozoologists.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
I had a chat with this kid, Kuno. He promised to stop stealing the locusts.
So it was just a child.
He purses his lips, crestfallen.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid or the missing locusts. It's something else.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
The aging cryptozoologist breaks into a hideous coughing fit.
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
There won't be a next season. Not for this. Find a phasmid or admit defeat, people.
Maybe I can still restock the trap for you?
You can? Fine. It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
Really? It's too much, officer.
He starts coughing again.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
She nods to her husband.
Here's a fresh fractured locust. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but...
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center. This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that.
Okay, that takes care of that. I do need to talk to Everard. Clear that off the list. I'm wondering.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn...
Yeah, I think I'll come back. I know there's a key to that blue door back there, but I'm probably going to have to save scum to get that 28% chance to go off. Or find another way to... Well, actually, I can increase my perception too. This is not a fishing rod, is it? It's... Ha! Hello, Dyruger.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Now, what can Everard Clare do for you today?
It's done. I mailed the signatures you asked me to mail.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and I feel I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Hear that? You did it the honest way. You got the real signatures, and now he's happy. Well done. I don't know. Your dirty forgery fingers aren't sure if playing this one straight was the right thing to do. Finally, answers. Ask away, son.
Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
Fine, where is
An
it?
old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway...
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
She was waving it around at people?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Did you order the hanged man killed?
Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that.
What do you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
Have you ever heard what 2 giant Sorays hornets can do to an entire colony of bees? They just... Yeah, I think that would go over his head. They're trained military people.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men. Or 15 men. Or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
How is this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait, is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
What?
Tits from her arsehole. It's a local saying.
Why are you telling me your plans?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
Who killed the hanged man?
No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare. Couldn't have done it without him.
A guy, huh?
How do you know it's a guy?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know.
How many of you guys are there in the Union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol. And they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
How are you going to fund your new independent harbor?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Everything?
We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, though, isn't it?
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperidone is used to treat severe psychosis.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned.
Yeah, how about a beer and a pizza and a side of wings and pretty much half the buffet table, you fat lard?
But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
Makes sense to regulate the drug trade. Keeps it out of more dangerous hands.
Oh, Harry, you've misunderstood. I have no drugs in my hands. It's all far removed from me, like some half-remembered dream. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez.
Go on.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth. And everyone's going to pull their weight.
Well, I mean, if it has the word incorporate in it, then I like it. I'm a money guy.
Yes, if you start thinking about it like that, the socialist municipal body sort of is like a corporation, isn't it? It uses corporate law. We're incorporated. I like to think we're using the best parts of all the ideologies here, Harry.
Can I ask you about specific union
We're way
members?
past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
What was the fine print on the document I mailed? What was the catch?
There was no fine print, Harry. But I do hope all that construction noise and limited street access encourages some people to move. After a year of that ruckus, who wouldn't? And when they do, they will have a good place to go. I'm currently working on renovating the buildings near the roundabout into affordable workers' palaces.
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palaces. They're very large.
His hands are the size of the palaces.
So the village is doomed.
You were there. You saw the place. A wasteland. There's nothing left. But mark my words, officers. We are going to reset it.
To be fair, I have to agree with Everard here. That village had... How many people did we see there? 2 and 3 kids? And a couple of drunks?
Reset. I have big plans for Martinez. And they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce.
What do you mean?
Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex. Employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Low-income housing? If even part of this is true, then why not?
I accept your salute, Harry. All of it is true. I've got the centre, I've got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years I'll get the church too. The wheels are turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
The pain is true. He's seen kids do worse than that.
Sounds like you got this.
Oh, I do, Harry. I really do. I'm gonna make the working man richer than Joyce Messier with that vote of yours. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace.
A true flash of anger in him, as he thinks of her.
That's it for now.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Suddenly there's sadness in his tone.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
I finished investigating the local drug trade.
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor.
A few more questions about the harbor.
I'm always happy to educate and very
that's it
nice,
for now.
Harry. Is there any... Most certainly, Harry. By
Nope,
all means,
we've done everything
Harry.
there.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It was attached to the Kvalsund crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again later. At least we've exhausted pretty much everything we can ask Everard at this point. I need to go back and look at the list of thoughts that I've unlocked and decide which ones I absolutely want. Because I do have a ton of skill point. Well, a proverbial ton, since I'm looking at 11 skill points, and I'm 35% of the way to another one. Come on. Damn it, Harry. Down the stairs. Get over here, damn it.
Before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Okay, well... I'll have to increase rhetoric to try to talk it into opening. Someone is habitually chilling next to the radio. Okay. Get your ass down here, Harry. Harry! I hate those damn stairs. They never work like they're supposed to. Okay, hold on just a second. And go over here. Okay. Well, there are a lot of passive encyclopedia checks, and passing them gives me XP and Real, but that -2 on suggestion from the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center? Well, I haven't really been using suggestion, have I? I've obviously used it at some point because I put skill points into it. Now let's see. precarious world. I don't know. On the downside, for 4 hours of game time, all my red checks fail automatically, but on the plus side, success and failure thresholds are reduced. The precarious world. Oh, that's that one, yeah. Let's see. I could possibly unlock Torque Dork, which is +2 to interfacing after it's complete. Let's see. The Jamrock Shuffle lets me find better loot in locked containers. I'm not too worried about that. Yep, Searchlight Division I haven't unlocked yet. I still haven't unlocked Regular Law Official. Now, let's see. I still need to talk about talk to Joyce about the Pale. Magnesium-based life form is -1 to logic, but it's +2 to volition. That raises morale to 6, actually. I could do Kingdom of Conscience too. That one is learning caps for volition and logic raised to 5. And volition is there and logic is intellect, both of which are kind of poor for me. So I think I am going to do that one. Guillaume Le Million would be another one that's worth learning, because it eventually gives you +1 to your pain threshold, that's 1 more health, and increases all my physique learning caps. Doesn't do a whole lot of good, which I suppose doesn't do a whole lot of good if you're not planning on raising your physique skills that high. Well, let's see. It can be so hard trying to decide if it's going to be worth it to you. Let's see. Here's an interesting one. Kingdom of Conscience, which I'm already internalizing, raises the learning cap for volition and logic to 5. And then there's one that raises the learning cap for visual calculus and suggestion and electrochemistry to 6 at the cost of losing 1 point of taking a penalty of -1 to logic. Might be worth it. Because then I can put more points into logic to make up for the permanent penalty. Well, it's a thought for the future. Let's go ahead and go in the church.
Wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Inspect the
padlock
staple.
Passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Well, back
This
off for now.
cheap-looking padlock, it'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead.
Have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What is suggestive of junior delinquency
I haven't
here?
seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
Thus, it must be made by youths.
Take a closer look at the
This
padlock.
cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Inspect the carpentry.
Carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work.
High above, The wind wraps the church in its rush, cold and wet from the ocean bay.
Oh joy. Speaking of
It
thoughts,
dance around the massive keel-shaped roof, like a test tunnel, washing both sides, the way it has done for 340 years. The wind keeps its distance. So should you.
what is this feeling?
There is a hole in my heart.
The lieutenant looks at the padlock. He didn't hear you asking. You were quiet enough.
If you really think we should get in there, we need to find some other way.
Should we start with that kick drum coming from the ice?
Yes, the pulsing bass. An indication of junior delinquency.
That phrase, it does not mean what you seem to think it means. Oh, let's see. Close. Okay.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front
Tried
of
to
you.
peel off the sticker without ripping it.
Rectangular There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Put the sticker in your ledger after the last entry where it belongs.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Okay, thankfully we took down that earlier. Painted with pastels, someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. And hey, it's 10 cents.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Squeeze
Sorry,
in.
we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
He gestures for you to squeeze in. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says,
Hardcore!
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibber-dee, skibber-danger. I am the rearranger.
your cop training did not prepare you for this. What to do? Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed.
A strangely dressed young man says without looking up for his toolbox. Okay, I'll speak to Andre.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast strange music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Well, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need. The place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
Enough histrionics. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
I feel like you may be laying this on a bit thick. What's really so bad about those dopeheads and burnouts?
They're spooky!
Spookiness is not a matter for police investigation. What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Did you put the padlock on the door?
Yes. I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation. I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key. All right.
Be the cool cop. Catch the key as it flies toward you.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
Catch it.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly. The young man with ribcage-shaped suspenders looks at you, standing there, with a goofy grin on your face. The word august, used as an adjective. That's how cool it feels to be old and cool in the eyes of the young. Let's face it, you're near death, yet bathed in the golden rays of stately grandeur, like a late summer's day, like a daddy-o.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
85% is not good enough when you're dealing with another person's physical well-being.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that. Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now.
Right. Other questions?
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved.
Well, there's also the machinery. When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling. Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
Spoiler, that's because there is.
No, the other one. Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg. Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Well, spoiler, that's true too.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
Why not? Let's go with that.
I don't see a single thing wrong with that argument.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you.
Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
Jacked up to some snuff station?
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen to people getting killed on, then jerk off to it. Sick shit.
Not that we would know anything about that. Noid just likes to relay stuff. We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines. He'll tell you more.
What was that about some thing watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crabman.
A crabman?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Ambush behavior. Crabman.
Crabman! Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid?
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Sure.
Alright, let's talk about something else. I know Noid has his signs, but what's the deal with Egghead
He's
there?
a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies.
How do you communicate with him?
Well, he's just kinda here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Have you ever really talked to him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
You mentioned some kind Ecclesiastes on the church. Who are these Ecclesiastes?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
Oh, the founding party. I do know them, but can you refresh my memory?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization.
And?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no?
They sound like exactly the kind of people who would want loud dance music in their church.
You're right, they do.
He says without the slightest hint of irony.
The Pericanassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance.
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore.
Unity.
Unity.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
He turns the volume up and then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass, as if testing the waters.
I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse?
Posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse, you look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
I guarantee you, I didn't party with any of the people I've worked with.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. the world is silent.
I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
You're right. How could the founding party be anything but enthusiastic? Dance music is about love, and so is the Paracarnassian Church.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if, they get this club going. You've got it in you.
I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
I see you bought your own water.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
And it's distilled, too.
Oh, it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
All right, enough of
He
this.
nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Well, I need to work on my logic before I take that check.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
She must be Estelle, the last of the speed freaks, posse. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I should, and I do. Point at your hat.
I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother. You know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab. Down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor. Then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
The lieutenant nods. His face is stone. What did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
You were wrong. I do believe you.
Why?
What would you stand to gain?
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
I'd like to know more about your associates.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
Just answer the question, please.
Sorry. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
What about you? Tell me something about yourself.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Aha. Okay, maybe I'll ask later about all this.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
What's that device you have there?
This? It's a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the
Actually,
wires?
just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
Contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah, and you using my wife's name? How about my mother?
No, you're welcome.
How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where did you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium.
What's the Elysium?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a wrecked tape player in a completely trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. Never mind, let's talk about that contact mic instead.
Sure.
Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you. What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it you're recording?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
She scratches her forehead. Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Everything checks out, sire.
And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
Take this, your call.
The lieutenant takes off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
The lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. You said it's supposed to be a music place. Did you mean the one on... Well, actually, give her your hat. Fine.
Thanks.
She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. You said it's supposed to be a music place. Did you mean the one Andre's got planned? The church?
Yeah. The boys think it could be a place. Like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
And who are these boys?
The boys?
Yeah, Andre and the guys. Inside the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the... Let it go. Got it.
She looks back at her tape recorder.
I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become, like, a club. For anodic dance music. Like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that... Yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
Enough about the church then. I had
Go
another
ahead.
question. My empathy is too low to try that, so I'll hold off on that one. It's a white check, and I can try again later, or I can save scum my butt off and hope for that 1 in 18 chance.
Heavy wooden doors.
Open
more
the
than
padlock
twice
with the
if
key.
lock turn.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies? The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Could these wires work as contact microphones? A spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. Okay, let's go over here and look at this one. A cracked pane of glass, colorful. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn in frost on the window depicting a deer. Mesk banger's silk scarf, +1 to threshold when worn.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing.
Stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
Yell as loud as you can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing, and it's beginning to worry me.
The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening
The
around us.
lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
What if I don't want to know what's up
The
there?
silence, the darkness, they've enveloped you as in a cocoon. You cannot move anymore. Relax. It'll be okay.
Well, let's see if we can make this, considering there's a 58% chance of failure. And it worked. Sometimes the random number generator never ceases to amaze me.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
Follow the shadow's movements.
It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
The lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is you're seeing.
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go? Prepare for an attack.
On the ceiling?
Yes. The darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away.
Blink.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. Kingdom of Conscience.
And that thought is complete.
The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up at the sky, at the dark shapes of the coalition airships hanging there. Ask yourself, is there something sinister in moralism? And then answer, no. God is in his heaven. Everything is normal on earth.
And the bonus is it increases my learning cap for volition and logic, which is cool. Hold on just a second. I'm getting pings from... got it. Okay, never mind. I was getting some pings from Discord, but it wasn't anything important. Let's talk to this thing.
Is that a man? A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The crab man.
Hey, who's there?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in general. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Rivershoal.
The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Hey, and what was that about, the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh.
Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem, and it got out of hand lately,
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence, and you don't even know it.
I'm actually here on behalf of some young people looking to establish a nightclub.
I know it's hard to admit that you have a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look at the damage El Reno was doing to my mind and my spirit.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
For some reason, I feel like you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
Do you know where the other spooker is? Point at the strange machines.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Wait, so there is another person living in the church, and it's a viejita?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is.
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you've got nothing else to tell me. How she looks, what she does, who is she?
I'm afraid not, Ese. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
So what do you think about the nightclub, that is?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
You must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
Hey, it's your neighbors who came up with the name, not me.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
What were you before this?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
I lost my memory too, but I like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me, start again from scratch.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control over the conversation.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harry.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
He ignores your hand, his limb's a mere shadow below the ceiling. What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Is this your scarf lying around here?
I think it was. A long time ago. I had to share it like a skin to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have it. I don't need it anymore.
The scarf looks pretty dapper, actually.
Who's this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
How did you even find this place?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
I still don't understand what you're doing in the
I'm
church.
a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Singing is good. I'm a bit of a singer myself.
I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
Right. I had other
The sinewy
questions.
figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Okay then, thanks. Two decks of reel-to-reel tape spinning on empty. A portable Harman Waushi tape recorder. Someone siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress.
Kneel.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Close your eyes
The
first.
world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you, it covers you from the wind outside.
Open your eyes.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips, and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse?
It's compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same as you
Your
get up.
fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
How did I know this is the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, The title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir La Clé. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty.
Okay, what else? Was she smart?
Terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
How come?
It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era.
Wow.
Wow indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest.
Are you sure that wasn't just radiation poisoning?
Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress.
Wait, what exactly is an innocence? I've read a book, but it was fuzzy.
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit.
A ruler?
More. An innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
Is one in office now?
No, we are alone.
Okay, when did she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
I want more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mes and the Occident, and even far away supra-Muindi. Altogether, 21 of the 40 mundial nations of the time immediately accepted Innocentick rule, even before her crowning.
Her crowning?
In a city called Advesperaskit, in Vespa Messina, her homeland. The name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress, on an emptied-out plaza, with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
She must have been beautiful.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well. very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by Secret Servicemen.
Then what?
One of the men in this Secret Service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else.
What?
Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
Was there something terrifying about it?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day. Constantly surrounded by her Theriers, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
What happened?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
The lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
Nothing, just looking around.
Okay. It's just that you've been looking at that window for quite long now. And it's cold in here.
He takes off his glasses to clean them.
This church, the coast in general, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
I can always reconstruct that cracked glass later. If I can find something to increase my visual calculus, that'll be good too.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but this looks like the one in the doomed commercial area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Wait, let me just investigate it.
You
Step
see
behind the computer.
fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Look inside the
Behind the
compartment.
hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its contents.
Press
The
play.
speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
I looked inside the core, but the tape and the filament just said log February to March.
Please repeat.
Let's look around. Maybe he knows something.
Received. Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Thanks, but I'm finished with this call.
Goodbye, Fortress.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons. Nothing happens.
Okay. Well, we're done with that. Oh, hold on. Hello. $1.50 and a pair of shoes. Okay, he stays up there so we can come back and talk to him again later if we need to. For now, though, is there a thought? Let's see. Well, if I take Wasteland of Reality, that's a +1 to all physique skills. Not the learning caps, the actual skills themselves. Sorry, to all psyche skills. But a -1 penalty to physical instrument, inland empire, and suggestion, which means spending more points on those. I'm not sure though. The psyche skills are, except for volition, the learning caps on all of them is pretty low. So increasing the learning cap might not be too bad. Oh, let's see. Well, I hate to do it, but with all the passive encyclopedia that I've been passing, I should probably internalize that, because each encyclopedia passive that you pass is 10 XP. Crap, I probably would have had another skill point to replace that one by now. Okay. Two more thoughts I'm internalizing now, but let's go on ahead and go by the trap and refill it, because that's what we originally came down here to do.
The trap stands empty near the reeds. No insect sap. The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good, now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to, but if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it.
Okay. Well, let's go back around to the church so we can fast travel back to the mainland. I could go looking for... Actually, while I'm here, I could go looking for... Klazja's buoy west of the boardwalk, and I have to investigate the boardwalk for bullet holes anyway, or bullet evidence anyway. Well, crap. It looks like I walked right around the damned... Yep, walked right around from one side to the other of it. Dagnabbit. Yeah, I'll take that 23 cents that I didn't notice earlier.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette.
Oh, I thought this was the boardwalk. Isn't it the boardwalk? Oh, this was the center. this be the buoy Clausier told you about?
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash, but if you look closer...
That, over there, must be the boy Clausier told us about. The one she hid her passport in.
You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut.
Sniff the buoy.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop and decay.
Shake the buoy.
There's something in there, splashing around.
Examine the
The
plastic
number
ball.
11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
Open the
A
buoy.
shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn.
We're lucky it's still here. A little longer and it
We
would have
still got
floated
here
away.
too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
No documents. Who do you think
I
took
have
them?
no idea.
This is a minor quirk. We know what was in the buoy
Or
anyway.
think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
I have no idea. Do you have any theories, Lieutenant?
Might have been Clausier, might have been the people after her, might have been a local drunk. We should go.
Let it be. Okay, now we'll go talk to the baton player about Maybells. Because of the way the fast travel system works in this game, I basically have to run back to the church so I can fast travel. Stop in the Whirling in Rags and report to Lena while we're here.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face.
I restocked the empty trap. Where's Morel?
Thank you for doing that, dear.
She manages a smile for you.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
It's probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in those
I'm
reeds.
sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
So who's going to check the
Morel
traps?
will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
Oh, we'll take care of it.
Really is too much.
Fuck that cough. It's not happening. The insides of your lungs are lined with tobacco, a powerful antibacterial agent. You are unstoppable.
I wish it worked that way.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Lena, what's wrong? You seem different.
Different? How?
You're not telling me the whole story.
I'm not. It's not that.
She doesn't know how to end the sentence. What is it?
A strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
But Morel told me you'd seen it. You also told
Morel's
me.
so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
You seem to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something?
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too. But now, we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
First, tell her that her marriage hasn't been a lie.
An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
Wrong or not, your relationship with Morel isn't just about the phasmid.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
Morel hated lecturing. You convinced him to do something real in this world.
But if the dream comes to naught, what good is it? No, the thing is...
She looks down at her legs.
I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived. On our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
He'd still be into you. That's not how these things work.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
Thing is, you're not sure you made it up either.
I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Are you sure you don't need help getting to Gary's?
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
You do that. I'll check the traps one more time.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
Can I have your address just in case there's news?
Okay. It's 1113 Tabernacle Road. Jamrock, but...
Be careful out there, Lena.
You too, sweetie. Thank you for everything, truly. Even though it turned out to be a...
The sentence remains unfinished.
Like that, she drives off. The gas engine sputters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside.
We should go too.
Yes, we should. Fortunately, you don't actually have to check the traps again. In fact, you'll notice that it's not on the tasks list even.
It's you again. What is it?
Okay, I talked to Claudier, now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby.
Sounds like you want to push. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
He throws a glance at Titus as the last syllable leaves his lips. The big guy sighs.
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back.
Heh. Yeah, I'll confront him later after I don't have a -2 penalty to logic. Also, he's gonna look silly with this. Yeah, I think I'll just put that on. How about that?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn.
Okay. Now there's a 72% chance of success. Watch it fail on me.
Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of
I told you! 72% chance of success. Fail.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Someone's hid a key in the bush.
Huh?
Titus, can you hand the key to me, please?
I'm not your janitor, cop. I don't even know what you're talking about. There's nothing there.
If he says it's there, it's there.
The lieutenant takes his glasses off to clean them, then puts them back on. Can you let me slide by so I can grab the thing?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you.
Take
the key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in?
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Thank you, nod to the old man.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
Does anyone know why this key was hanging right outside the Union Box window?
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
I wonder what doors it opens.
Could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there?
And we will check that out, but first the pétanque player, which I've been putting off.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
Do Maybells mean anything to you, Renee?
I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls bought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck.
Did they bring you good luck?
You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sold the ID for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston, but not while we have company. So, officers.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
The lieutenant quickly asks.
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you'll have to wait for at least a month.
Thank you for your time. Let's see, it's composure, right?
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
Significant improvement just from that one skill point.
What can...
All you observe.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do?
All you observe is a veteran.
This is a uniform.
Don't you mean?
You do not...
There's something you missed.
Vigilance officer. Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
As Rene turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and his ribcage lifted, displaying them proudly.
How many are there?
2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles the sun.
Look at the cross.
A crowned head in front of 2 crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in Suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery in the line of duty, in service of King Frizzle I.
Look at the sun.
A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below. The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frizzle I during the Revolution.
Croix de Bravoure and the setting sun. Did you get them for...
For bravery.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm sure. But I know this uniform's reputation. You are also wondering if I got this for raping women or killing babies.
I don't know the reputation of anything. I don't even recognize the war.
Son, we should never forget our past. Lots of mistakes were made back then, but there were also lessons.
His voice takes on a tutor-like quality.
Forgetting those times means the mistakes were for nothing. That all those people died for nothing.
Whoa. Sounds like you're about to open the gates of conversation. This man will literally talk your ear off if you let him wander off to memory lane.
So what did you get the medals for?
For doing my duty in the heat of battle. For looking my mortality in the eye. When men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shot themselves.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
Saved a princeling?
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Couronne and were getting really ambitious. King Frizzle thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity?
He really despises that Drisson fellow.
Purple velvet tunic. That isn't exactly camo.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Couronne. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage.
Must have been a bloodbath.
I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, The prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw. Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee.
He pats his right thigh.
It's painful to even think about. Hang on to the story. Veterans get sentimental after such retellings. This might yield something useful.
Okay, then what did you do?
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des chevaux.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolles Tresson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one.
That's no dink, that's a fighter.
So I grabbed the dink and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up. Through some miracle, we both survived. And the jealous freak convinced Frissel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Piece and shit. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth.
Sounds like you're being modest, Rene.
The old carabinier stands quietly like a statue, his features motionless.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him and Drizant. 2 days later that was. And that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
Hold on, you're just a little bit proud of Rene's heroics, aren't you?
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all wrong. I'm a man of peace, and these kinds of bloody heroics are only impressive to men like Rene himself. Certainly not to me.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that.
How did you find the story to be, officer?
Quite impressive. It's men like Rene who made Revachol great once.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer. They don't hand this out for anyone with a service record. Oh no, you have to get shot. Repeatedly. And you need to get your hands bloody too. Really, really bloody.
Sounds like the, Sounds like the Geeky KZ medal in Traveler. If you get more than 10 of them, your friends call it the Professional Pop-Up Target Award because that means you've been wounded in battle 10 times.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand.
Why do you despise Drisant so much?
Because he was a goddamn dandy. Had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That's it. Royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders. He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving. And 782 Royal Carabiniers are dead because of his incompetence.
Thanks for the story, Rene.
Bah! There were many such stories in those days. Many such men, too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
Oh, yes, Rene, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please, bring those days back, if you can.
I'm not getting into this with you again. Officer, was there anything else?
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
Not with that Dharma.
Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center. You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Encyclopedia passives gives plus 10 XP and plus 2 real. Minus 2 penalty to suggestion because you're a pretentious wanker. Oh, let's see. Yeah, my suggestion is... well... 2 base, plus 2, minus 2. So, yeah. Reminds me, while we're out here, if I can, I'm going to try to get What's-Her-Name to talk to me about the pail. Because I need that to unlock another thought that I want to have in the thought locker.
There, on that balcony. Do you see it?
Cindy? Yes, that's
Straight
where I'm headed.
into a bull ring with no prep talk? No. It's your first sales negotiation. Savvy's got to give you the do's and don'ts. That's a pathetic-looking bull. Where are the sharpened horns ready to puncture your gristle? There's no real danger here.
Alright, I'm listening.
Artistos are known to repel wealth. It bounces off their skin like rubber. The moment a reasonable business proposal enters their periphery, they go and get political.
The reason it's giving me this is because essentially one of the goals that I've set up in the game is to become the patron of some artist.
Nonsense. No one repels wealth. The businessmen just don't know how to entice them. What you need to do is lure them in with a strong one-liner. Get them on your side before you've even finished the sentence. Show us what you've got. Pretend you're facing the Skull Girl.
Thankfully, pretend you're facing her.
Mamma mia. If this isn't the top seller in La Delta, no one expected you to nail this on the first try. Congratulazioni. Okay then, off you go. Let's see what you've got.
But not just yet.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Oh, hey. Conceptualization. I have a 2 in conceptualization, plus 2 for Dolores Day. I bet I... oh, wait.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
So basically I have a plus 6, and my chance of success is still double 6s.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Okay, I'll come back to that later.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
It's your lucky day. I'm looking to acquire some original art by the creme de la creme.
What's that? The piggy's looking to get into the art market with a snappy business pitch. Watch out, or you'll be auctioned off and face the chop.
She draws a line across her throat with a thumb.
The lieutenant straightens his back, waiting to see where this is going. Relax. It's all part of her image. She stares at you, fearlessly, waiting for a response.
Perfect. This is all very on brand for you. Love that little persona
This
you've created.
little persona will grind you into a sausage if you don't stop. I'm not a sellout. The whole point of graffitio being on the street is so everyone can see it. No charge. Expression for all.
There has to be a way to convince her. Everyone has a price. I bet it's all about the scene for her. Tell her you can introduce her to some artsy jet-setters in Saint-Baptiste. Maybe do some lines together in the powder room.
If you sell me a piece, I can introduce you to some people.
If I wanted to whore myself out for some Naz and bonbon, I'd go to Porto Rosa. Or better yet, I'd take you with me and pimp you out to some friends of mine. They'd be delighted to get their hands on a squealing pink thing like you. Cut off your ears.
Knew I should have gone with that other
Make
answer.
soup out of them. Now sod off. You've got nothing to offer that would make me change my mind.
Perfect. She isn't interested.
Your partner here gets it. Anything else I can not do for you, gentlemen?
Suggestion of 16. Well, I think I can actually do something about that. Can't do a whole lot about that, though.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my...
Not at this particular moment, no. That's not going to make enough of a difference to make it worth it. Alright, fine. Back to the whirling in rags passageways.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then, the lock clicks. The darkness before you smells like engine grease and cut wood.
Isn't it just awesome that he can smell the darkness? Who knew that darkness even had a smell? This pinball is white Diora. The back glass shows a female figure in mourning. A note. NB. The spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window. Take that 5 real.
Over there, in the corner.
The pinball machine?
Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it.
Kim, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic.
Wait, you've played it?
A little.
Let's take a closer look.
Ah, great.
The lieutenant sighs.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready.
Lean closer to read the text.
Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Mundi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people.
Inspect the playing field.
The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit.
Watch with all the goats.
Indeed. Think of them as balls.
Insert a coin.
It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease.
And that popped an achievement for me. I don't know if you saw the achievement pop up or not.
Go, go, finger boy.
I feel sorry for the goats. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was.
What kind of guy was he then?
The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A Mesk nationalist.
A racist mountaineer?
An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent.
That is not cool.
He also hit his wife and kids. Other people's kids too. Sometimes pets. Hateful little man.
That's even less cool.
But you seem to be having fun.
I'm pretty good at this.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go.
Concentrate and aim for the narrow passage.
Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. The words "Pale Rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Well, let's hope it's not letting the magic smoke out.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid, nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. Hit the pads as fast as you can. Maximum attack. Not even a bullet can get through. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death.
Alright, let's try this. I've got a good chance.
How, if you can't even see it?
Screw you,
The
reaction
last
speed.
goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing, finger boy. Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
So thinks the guy who hasn't solved one case in 4 days. -1 to logic, but learning caps for those 4 skills raised to a 6. all the ones on the right-hand side, including composure. And in fact, composure is raised to a 7 because it gets that +1 boost from having my signature skill being in that category. Man. Someone with 7 composure could keep one hell of a poker face, that's for sure.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in.
Yeah, somehow I can't imagine myself saying, "Hey, Lieutenant, let's take a ride on the rickety old elevator that hasn't been used in who knows how long."
The maintenance card under the control panel reads, "Last maintenance, 10th July, 88.
Which would have been last century. That's, about 63 years?
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
He taps on the guttering light bulb. It's golden in the dark. Look at the elevator
There are
controls.
large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. The small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long time ago.
Says the last maintenance was in 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it.
88. This elevator was maintained a long time ago.
At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
I can't tell if he was being a sarcastic ass or if he was serious. But in any case, it's not dangerous. So, small windows taped shut with black plastic you can't see outside. Boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Schematics for a pinball machine, futurism themed. Hey, a pinball maker's coat. This pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. A long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
This used to be a pinball workshop.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
He taps his foot.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
You know, Harry must have some really incredible senses. I mean, this guy hears dust falling off of a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the hearties bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
Whirling in Rags was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade. This is all left over from that.
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Looks like they gave up on fixing the pinball machines at some point.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
Finish the thought. See if anything else is...
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Someone's been here within the last week or 2.
3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
He looks at you.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Let's have a closer look then.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left the pattern, uniform, horizontal lines.
This doesn't look like the worker's boot from the hanging, does it?
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
This print doesn't look like the odd-soled print we found at the hanging.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. I wouldn't rule out Ruby coming here yet. This isn't an argument against her. People change shoes, you know? But it's not an argument for her either.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Okay, what does this mean?
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, leading to the roof. The roof from where you can shoot our victim. This is significant. These prints, officer, could be the prints of our killer. And if not, at least they're a good argument for this Ruby doing it, to present to Titus.
Let's move on. There's a tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom on the other side.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
I think I can see into Clausius' bedroom.
You can
from here.
barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusions.
What were those people doing?
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural. They're sensationally unnatural. If your mesolimbic reward pathway were to venture a guess, one of the bottles is probably being put somewhere it doesn't belong.
Thank you, no.
This is the inside of the barred door you've seen before.
Unbar the door.
Two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman.
Well, hey, I got another skill point out of all of that.
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right?
Yeah, the church is actually my love. Things are really bad with it.
Cool. Now, what can I do for you? Another thing. Great. I love those.
Gart, what if I told you I got into the back room behind the blue steel door?
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
He's really holding himself back here. It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Aren't you going to ask me what's back there?
Okay, what is back there?
Pinball machines. Pinball workshop.
I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Why, do you want to play? I might be up for a game.
No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
I feel a capitalist plot coming up.
Capitalist plot. The pinball, it wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
There's a peephole in the wall.
What wall?
Upstairs in the secret back room, right next to Claudia's bedroom. I found it when I found the pinball machines.
I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the Whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
The color has drained from his face. What a shame to fix such a good peephole.
Are you sure? You know what? I'm tempted not to suggest that, but I know there's no negative consequences.
Absolutely not. Fuck you for even implying it. It wasn't me. It wasn't my stuff. The establishment will look at it and ascertain what it was.
Sir, he was only asking a question. It's his job and mine. See that it's covered.
Yes, I absolutely will. Sorry, it's been a bit of a day. And now a hole in the wall.
Alright, you've been notified.
Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not. Yes?
Well, that went fairly well. I mean, hey, I got another skill point out of it. Might have to spend it on something yet.
Hi again, Gendarme.
Let's see, composure. Yep, I've
Goodbye,
got you up to
Gendarme.
42%. Might be worth save scumming this to ask
Hi
him
again,
about it.
Gendarme.
Could he be a member of the homosexual underground? Yes, this man is definitely one of the homos. I've seen them homos with my own eyes. This sexual thing seems interesting. Ask around. Become involved.
Or don't.
Just pointing it out. We're not talking about some kind of cult with members here. You made it up.
Are you part of the... Are you part of the underground?
The homosexual underground?
He sits up immediately, his eyes wide with amused surprise. A honeyed smile lingers on his
Why,
lips.
yes, I am, officer. Why? Do you want to investigate?
Yes, I want to hear more about this underground you're part of.
Oh, it's a pleasure group. A sub rosa pleasure group congregating in cellars under the cover of night. Saturday night. Sometimes even Friday night.
What about Thursday night?
Or Thursday night. Sometimes the congregating doesn't even end. It carries on into our daily life.
But why do you convene? What do you do?
Oh, we're ambitious. We want to destroy the last vestiges of meaning. The last things people in Revachol have to hold on to. The true symbols of security. The meaning of man and woman, mother and father. Their marriage. Everything will be constantly shifting and moving under our rule. The future will belong to a circus of identities just spinning around, surreal and unreal. You won't even know who you are anymore.
I like knowing who I
But do
am.
you also like the razzle-dazzle of gold? Do you like parties and discos and having fun under the vibrant lights of Saturday night? Because instead of the traditional family unit, we're going to have all this razzmatazz. And mysteries, of course, too. Mysteries of sexual nature, very esoteric. And disco music and drugs.
I do like disco. Maybe
You
I should
can't
get
just
into it.
get into it. You have to be born into it. One is either already in the homosexual movement or forever excluded from it.
What if I can't remember if I'm in or not? What if I can't remember anything about my life aside from the fact that I like disco?
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. Who knows, maybe you were homosexual in the past. Maybe all of that has been repressed. I have to say that you do look like someone who might be part of the underground. You have that very distinctive, I can't understand what's going on here look.
Okay. Okay, I have to think about it.
Do think about it, officer.
This is going to be like a 20-hour mind project for me. 20 hours at least.
Absolutely wonderful.
And
Bye-bye,
leave.
Gendarme.
The whole point behind that was to unlock another thought, because Lieutenant Kim is in the underground, as it were. So that adds that to it. However, it's not one that I normally bother with, because all it really does, it doesn't provide any bonuses at all. The one thing it does, however, is it allows you to discuss sexuality with the lieutenant and stops you from obsessing over it. Well, stops Harry from obsessing over it, I should say. And while we're here...
It's you again. What is it?
My logic chances are still low. So I might go ahead and spend at least 1 or 2 points on logic. I still want to save some points, though. I think that should get me up
It's
to
you
about
again.
42%.
What is
I'm
it?
not sure. Oh, it gets me up to 58%.
Nothing is happening.
Something is going to happen.
It's you again. What is it?
Nothing is happening.
Something is going to happen. 58% chance, fails twice in a row.
It's you again. What is it?
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought. A massive activity spike in the amygdala copycum, the part cops use to pin murders on people.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
He points to the karaoke stage. She didn't go out for fresh air for a smoke?
No.
In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all the time.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cobb. And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
You do agree the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinique. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
There's a 72% chance the bullet came from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
I analyzed it on the spot. Turns out I can do that.
No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. And what they say doesn't sound like a science call. You're a madman.
Those numbers were an asshole, man.
Yeah, and they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jumbo. He hasn't got shit.
There is a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof.
Oh.
Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
Ignoring the fact that there's a staircase to the second floor right over there.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
And from there, a door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
Guess what? Remember that key I found here?
I don't like guessing, Carl. No one does.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
You didn't find it, but Ruby did. That's how she got up there.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
No, the ribbon was old. Faded. It had been there for 20 years at least.
She could have just put it back there when she was
Why?
done.
This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well, and you know it.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits. And he knows it.
I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop.
Footprints. Recent.
He looks tough, but there is a nervous twitch in his dark green eye. This is all too close to home for him.
Recent. A week or two.
That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints myself before I believe that call. Good news is, I'm still listening.
There were pinball machines in the workshop, still operational.
Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
Nothing, I just thought we could bring some down, get some new machines in
Wow,
here.
man, can we? I mean...
That'd be awesome. I beat that royalist machine 20 times now.
All right. We can get the barman to bring them down. What else?
Have you noticed the winch out back on the outer wall of the whirling?
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there?
Mm-hmm.
That's one mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it?
A skilled Sambo artist could have climbed the outer wall.
Garbage. It wasn't a Sambo artist call. I've been doing this for 10 years. Let me give you a lesson. Boys.
It's never a Sambo fighter, and it's never a bullet-bending sniper.
Or ghost. It's never a ghost either. Don't worry, we've got better than that.
Have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun.
The local pawn shop sold my lost gun to a woman. Maybe it was her?
You lost your gun?
The blonde man is taken aback, not even laughing.
What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder?
Yes.
No, you didn't. And Ruby did.
Stop thinking about your...
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
I've analyzed the bullet that killed him. It was jacketed.
So...
The man shrugs and looks at you.
So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it?
Just because it's rare doesn't mean you can't
Call.
get it.
That's exactly what it means.
That wasn't strong.
I've already established Ruby's running drugs. She could have smuggled guns, too.
God damn. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Every fucking 5 seconds.
All I'm saying is, from what I saw in her cabin, she'd have no trouble getting a gun.
Trouble. This is Revachol. Even the roid heads in the gym had a carbine. No one has trouble getting a gun. I still never saw her carry one.
He's angry because he knows you're right. What he's saying only confirms your theory.
I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
I don't know, Cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
The tattooed man bursts out laughing at his own joke.
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Eugene, let's assume you killed him.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob, or alone for committing murder?
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she's skipped town. This is good.
Maybe it's all part of a leadership challenge against you, Titus. Well, actually, we can do it at this point. Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Only opinion he cares for. Slight difference between the dialogue and what's on screen.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However, hard I asked. Wanna know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me, personally?
Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
I'm sorry, God, why does everything flee at the sight of my... I have no idea why she'd be scared. I'm just a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head.
Sure. Normal.
He says without smiling.
You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What else did she tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop.
Won't stop?
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like can.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This called Titus, this called Pete. But she was too scared.
Scared? You should be too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
Do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a Hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Have you looked for
A
her?
little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
You're all here. Who's out looking?
Lizzie needed some air.
So she didn't go to tell Everard.
No one goes to tell Everard anything. He knows what he has to know. Fast.
Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure. There's some shit houses there. A cinderblock town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more.
There you have it. Pale something.
Titus puts an end to it. It's not much, but it'll do.
It'll have to.
Shake it.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite.
And that settles things with the Hardy Boys. Still need to determine where the shot came from.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece. So the more you ask yourself,
Damn it. Come on, 83% chance.
an old monument stands in the middle of, even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
In what way?
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices.
Although more likely he probably snorted it up his nose.
He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
There's no way that's
but
true.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays. And purple. Philippian cocaine was purple.
So he was addicted to nose candy, a bloated druggie?
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay. This is slander. The king was just and beautiful. The revolutionaries made this all up.
Okay, this is a lot to
His
process.
Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
Okay, where is he buried now?
Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. A group of marble plurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces.
Who restored the monument?
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
That's brilliant, so funny and nihilistic.
People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death.
Okay, that's another... See, that's what all of this is for. It's showing me tests that I haven't made yet. Or haven't tried yet. That way I know what to focus on. Come on. Make up your damn mind. How do you want to go? That's the one drawback of the of this particular perspective. Sometimes directions get a little bit wonky.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Okay, empathy and... Oh, hold on.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Says the young man with whatever written on his back.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan, F the world.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Ignoring the cops standing to either side of him.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
I'm going to assume the censored word is something along the lines of fuckwits.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
I'm so glad you asked.
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmertine, or the Besmerti, the Immortals, are West Rivisholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
So they have a thing for neon. Good to know.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
No, they really aren't. It's porno tuning. Say no to the porno.
Do you guys know Cindy the Skull?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
She hasn't pulled out a knife and stabbed me yet. The young man's eyes glaze over, his voice filled with longing.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
He adds, returning from whatever void he was just visiting.
The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
I see you kids are into anodic dance music.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
His blonde friend adds ominously and points to his temple. Why?
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
I just wanted to talk about music, and now there's a conflict all of a sudden. A threat? Good. I like those.
But I don't. In fact, I dislike them so much I'm willing to drag you boys back to the station just to calm myself down.
Hey, there's no need for that. We're just talking here. Joking, too. Stay light, man.
Yeah. Didn't you cops, have some questions about skulls or some shit?
Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you part of the skulls
We're
or
not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
I see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
The other one quickly adds and whispers something to his
We'll
friend.
fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
Enough about this scullery, then. What's with the jackets?
What about them?
Why does your jacket have that written on it?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
Makes sense.
What I mean by this is, we are all pissed, and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
And why do you have that written on your
jacket? Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it. To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though,
blow it up.
You get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone.
Here's the thing. If you blow up the lake, you get more chunks of fish. Or more red mist, depending on how much explosive you use.
Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Hey, Kim.
Yes?
What do you think about their jackets?
Leather jackets adorned with immature writing? The ideology they convey helps the boys justify poor choices in life and fashion. I'm not a fan.
Why are you always so patronizing when cool possibilities cross
What
our
are
path?
you implying?
Which one would you want?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Are you more of a that or F the world kind of
Neither.
guy? Come on, Kim, it's just mental
Fine,
exercise.
if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the 2 statements.
Oh, that works.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
There is a chance there. So, I'm going to save scum it.
That ride is fucking lightning.
Cancel.
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
No, no, no. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. The boys dream about being skulls. Use that.
Wait, how?
Suggest they're massive skulls. Come on.
Boys with those jackets, you're going to be the Skull Kings in no time.
What? No. Skulls don't have kings. I think. And we're not even in yet.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly when folks pretend to be them. We're not even prospects yet.
Not even prospects and already aspiring to be kings?
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery.
Shut the fuck up. Are you trying to get us killed?
Well, yes, actually.
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Yes, we want to be a cool killer skulls too, like you guys, but we don't have skull jackets.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
You offer us your jackets like that? It'd be impolite to refuse.
Oh, man. Okay. I get it. Skulls don't really wear slogans anyway. This was stupid.
Fuck.
Hey, I gained the jacket
lieutenant
and...
watches the boys take their jackets off with mild amusement.
I'm absolutely okay with not having either one, thank you.
But don't you want to express your individuality?
I already am expressing my individuality.
I'm not. I don't have a jacket anymore.
Good. I wanted you not to express yours.
Cold-hearted cop.
Still, it's good to know we have a pair in case the need arises.
The need will not arise.
The jackets are meant to complete each other. If a man was standing alone on a street corner with his written on his back, it'd just be an individual that has taken a liking to you, Ryan. And fuck the world all on its own is, frankly, generic.
I don't know, Eric. It's cold out.
The dark-haired young man just stands there defeated. The wind blows.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
That jacket will come in handy in convincing Cindy, though. Let's see.
The speakers, you should go over and ask him about paying for those sneakers with your net worth. A pair of dedicated...
Those sneakers, mister. Those... No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Loaf... No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Well, but see, If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the... You keep coming back. That's
You find your hat. The box.
economical.
The speakers below.
Oh, okay.
Everything's still cool here, officer. The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100%
Dress code,
guaranteed.
rummager. Yeah, okay.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a
Well,
lifetime,
let's see if I can
officer.
conceptualize
100%.
this.
No luck.
Nope. And I've already got conceptualization maxed out. Unless there's something in my clothes. Why do they keep walking off every time I
Shine on
do
these
that?
sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer.
Okay.
100%
Let's try it
guaranteed.
now.
No luck.
Okay, let's try it again.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts.
No luck.
And again. But what do you expect? 68% chance of failure.
The shine on these sunglasses.
Ah, I see. A pair of water blue shades. The writing on the left temple says Sub-Insulintic Rendezvous. The frame appears to be hand-carved out of bone.
Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
For the first time, his voice trails off as he watches you inspect the glasses.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster, Harry. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue. Alright, but these actually make your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater.
Wow, officer. You look so cool.
He has picked up his pace again as you observe the world through his deep-sea tinted lenses.
And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
Kim,
The
what about
lieutenant
these?
tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
A man who knows his style. A good starter pair, officer. And when you're...
Okay.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Rhetoric is as high as it's gonna get. Eesh. Is there anything in my inventory that adds to rhetoric? Probably not. Well, yeah, there is the white polo shirt. Nothing else, though.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
42% chance.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Hey, you seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force?
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you, come on.
Think of it as an investment.
An investment? What kind of investment?
Or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
It's an investment in your customer base. Gotta prime the pump, man.
Fair point. You can't have a successful business without a loyal customer base. How much is your loyalty worth?
10 real.
10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man.
I'll leave you to it for now. Hey, scamming 10 real from someone? And clearing another check out of the list.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Okay. Well. Now let's take off that shirt because it's hurting our empathy. Put on the Jamrock Biker Cop sunglasses. I'll put on the Mega Bino's prescription lenses again eventually. And the Mesk Banger's red brogues. And the Pinball Maker's coat. He doesn't look half bad that way, actually.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
But it does improve my chances to nearly 60%.
Ease into it.
And let's do it again. 58% chance does not necessarily mean success.
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
Ease into it.
Yes, let's ease into it with another load.
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing. Flecks of brown and gold. It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning into causeways or bridges, ending suddenly in dead ends, or ramping up or down highways. It forms a crisscross pattern across the land.
Where does it lead?
Above the Jamrock Quarter, in the form of a raised motorway, and then the never-ending sprawl of Forburg, high above buildings, new and old, the air filled with the rumble of motor engines.
Farther?
To the old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland, upstream to the river Esperance, past Montmartin. The border approaches.
What's beyond the border?
You cannot see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist blocks all sight. A gale blows across your cheeks. It is cold. Before you stands a tall lorry driver with sad eyes.
What's in the southwest?
Excuse me?
A flinch jolts his frame. The question has touched a nerve.
Hell, I get longing. I felt something similar since I woke up.
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home.
Diora?
Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much. On another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows.
What's it like to miss someone?
What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me. What about you, Cop Man? You missing someone?
No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
No, I feel hunted.
Hunted? By what?
By a shadowy figure known only to me as the X
An
something.
ex-wife?
The pain burns in your chest, radiating. The crown of arteries on fire.
Yeah, your heart knows what he is. Whatever it is, one thing is for sure, it's not my
Still,
ex-wife.
a shadowy figure. That sounds pretty bad. I hope that doesn't happen to my marriage.
No, don't worry. I'm certain nothing bad is ever going to happen to your marriage.
Yeah. In marriage, you never know if you're doing the right thing. I hope we're doing our best to keep ours together, but anything can happen. Look, man, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone. I know it wasn't easy to ask, so I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
Well, that increases my bonus to this roll by +2. Let's see if I have anything that increases my conceptualization. I hate having to go through all this stuff all the time, but obviously I can't be expected to remember everything that everything does. Yeah, my white satin shirt again. And let's put back on the prescription lenses. Just for the bonus to encyclopedia. Ah, the Sumerian lounge jacket increases my conceptualization. There.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
58% chance of actually being able to give him a poem.
Your best verb.
How about a 58% chance of success? That would be even
now
better.
It's turning into a kind of a...
Wait. There's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
A mirror's temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray.
Whoa. What else?
It is a chalice held out to you in silent communion.
Silent communion. That's good.
He's transfixed by the words. Where gaspingly you partake of a shifting identity never your own.
Dang. That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
I think that may be an actual poet, and I've learned it by heart.
No matter. It's a fine stanza. You're not so bad after all. For a cop. They're more often into fists than rhymes, see? Let alone honesty in verse.
Any organization gets all kind of folk. I'm sure we try our best.
The lieutenant looks at you in silence, a curious look in his eyes, nodding slightly.
Well, you've given me some hope, I guess.
He gives you a thumbs up. That's all for now. Bye. Wish I had a better pair of pants than the flare-cut trousers or the inter-isolary trousers that really add nothing. Okay, let's see.
A cockatoo is This book talks about the delicate nature, despite its banging name. Perhaps in the words of poet, this is a yellow. You're right. Ouch. Not great for the neighbors. Where to even begin? Pet owners also, it is not recommended to get a cockatoo. Where to even begin? Pet owners, it is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day.
Well, that didn't work too well. Let's
As you
interact
hold
with the
it in
filter
your
jacket.
hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
Man, how did this get so
It's a
disgusting?
sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even try. Seriously.
Think
it
about it.
occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore.
Okay, but what's it made
Somehow,
of?
it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night.
Okay, I've
Why?
heard enough.
Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck.
Ew, ew, ew. Flick your
Now
hands.
you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is...
Yeah, okay. Hurts my morale, but... Oh, let's see what else we have. The one drawback... I mean, the great thing about the list of things on the list of roles you haven't tried on the map, the great thing about it is at least you know what you haven't asked. The bad thing about it, I don't know if I need to wear...
You finally made it, haven't you? People point fingers at you and whisper to each other when you pass by, wondering to themselves, where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale Supérieure de Badasserie? Is he dangerous?
Damn right I'm
You
dangerous.
are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool. In fact, no one dares to say a single thing about the jacket. But believe me, they are all very impressed.
Well, good, because this might be the only time they get to see me wearing it.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners.
I think they're afraid of you.
They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place.
Skulls are cool. Can I be a skull?
Fat chance. But you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
Okay, then, how's that?
She throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her lips and squints up at the sky, as though straining to hear something in the distance.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. But in Martinez, no gunshots, no sirens. The people are languishing in boredom and complacency. This place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the sirens.
Okay, let's see what I can do to increase my suggestion. If anything. Well, there's the naval coat. And that's pretty much it, unfortunately.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Can we add anything to suggestion? Plenty. The question is if I want to. But I am at least up to 6 skill points now. Went to the village on the coast, officer. See you there. Okay, well, I can go talk to her there. What else do we have on the map?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
And because it's such a high check, even with my conceptualization boosted to 4, my chances of getting that one are somewhere between slim and none unless I figure out a way to increase the learning cap on that. Well, actually, there is a way. I can smoke. Well, shit. Okay, never mind. I can't remember how to actually use the damn cigarettes.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
I found your buoy. It was empty, just seawater.
Oh.
Did you take the document?
No, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me. In truth, I should have destroyed them.
I'll file this under a theft of some kind.
Thank you, but actually, Now that I think about it, you mentioned seawater. I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch mechanism. The documents were probably just washed away. Sure. The wreck?
Yes, miss. I hope you don't mind. All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Okay.
She nods. She looks at chipped white.
Pretty. All right. Lie.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her.
Yeah? I did not. Do you think this has something to do with what happened?
It's possible.
She keeps looking at the door with a worried expression. The wind ruffles her hair.
It's an old pinball workshop, the room back there. This place used to be a pinball arcade.
Okay.
There were
I'm glad
tracks on
someone's had fun.
There were tracks on the floor there recently.
Huh. This isn't good.
She's straight as a stick. Suddenly, she feels like quarry, encircled. Her eyes dart to the door.
There's a peephole on the other side looking into your bedroom.
A peephole? You mean like a hole in the wall?
Yes, looking into your bedroom, miss.
The lieutenant points to her window. The unmade bed is visible through the glass.
Okay.
There's a pause as she processes this
A
information.
jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body, beginning from her shoulders and ending in her hips. The cigarette tastes foul to her now.
Do you think this is somehow connected to me?
It could just be a coincidence.
Okay. Do you have any way of knowing how long it has been there?
Unfortunately, no. But if I were to guess, long enough. The perforation is under the bookshelf on your wall. It should not be hard to cover with some tape.
If it is recent, who do you think made it?
Shit. I don't know. Maybe it's been there for a long time. Maybe the local kids use it or something. I don't know. I'll be fucking covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there?
That's all for now.
All right.
The other thing about that list is that it doesn't always tell you that the opportunity has disappeared. So that, for example, this one here about Miss Aranye Disco Dancer, it's a volition check. That's great. But if you go through all the dialogue again, it's not there. Same for this A to Zreek, A Guide to a Well-Behaved Cockatoo. It's just not there when I inspect the book in my inventory again. On the other hand, some of them, like the cargo container door and this question with Joyce Messier, which I'm going to have to do to unlock another thought. Yeah, just not. Oh, that does remind me.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Try to crack open the
You
lid.
slip your fingers under the frozen... No. This is going to need... If you want to try again.
Equip the pry bar by going to...
Okay. Let's put the pry bar in the hand.
This orange machine is dead still.
Pry bar is not strong enough. Straight up. Tells you that the pry bar is not strong enough.
This orange machine turning the crank.
Now, at some point, we will be able to get in there. I thought you could get in there now, but the ice hasn't completely melted, and... the ice hasn't completely melted, and we don't have the right bar for it. put on the only thing I have that increases my physical instrument.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor. The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game.
I'm a true champion.
A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor. For a moment, it feels like you're strong enough to succeed at anything you ever set your mind to.
Good technique.
And that is that check. You notice the barbell actually has disappeared from the list. But another good example of how these don't disappear, the church doors, that was for me to break it down. But I didn't have to break it down because I got the key from the kids. Okay, I need to figure out where the boardwalk actually is. Because, I mean, this isn't actually it. Oh, hey, something in the bucket. Yep, there's some plastic tear in there. The planks creak beneath your weight. Yeah, no kidding. And the thing with Joyce is conceptualization. So my one and only thing that actually adds anything to conceptualization.
I'll just keep the Cordelechi in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
She winds the mooring line around a post.
Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, detectives.
She fastens the end of the line around the post and straightens her back.
Good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
And hello, Carrie. I wasn't sure if you were actually watching or not. I'm not looking at the metrics right now. So, how do you like it here?
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze towards the village. Slush melting on the cinder blocks, construction work left half-finished 10 years ago.
Water drips down eaves of eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
She leans against the railing, looking up at the grey sky.
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
This island?
No, the Insulindian Isola.
No, you haven't told me how they found it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better, though.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Tell me now, we have time.
Do we?
It doesn't look like he does.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you. Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit.
I've got some more questions
More
about
lessons
reality.
in basic reality?
Yeah, conceptualization of 3. That's going to be a problem for me, isn't it? Well, anyway, it would be a long dialogue, and this is a good point at which to leave you on a cliffhanger, because we're finally, in about 3 hours of game time, 2,200 hours, going to confront the woman who bought the gun that I sold at the pawn shop. So, when we come back, that'll be one of the things on our agenda. But for now, I think I'm going to have to leave it here. But hey, at least he made some significant amounts of money. He's up at 103. So, I'd say this is a good place to leave it. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate all your support. If you're new and you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day.